When a Christian says that Jesus is the Son of God, many Muslims hear something that sounds like absolute blasphemy. They hear a claim of biology, that God somehow took a wife or physically procreated. But what if I told you that the Bible actually agrees that such an idea is impossible? What if the term Son of God has nothing to do with biology and everything to do with a royal, eternal inheritance? Welcome to Kingdom Apologist. Today, we are tackling the single biggest linguistic barrier between Christians and Muslims. The phrase Son of God is central to the gospel, yet it is often the most misunderstood. By the end of this video, you will understand the ancient Middle Eastern context of this title, how it was used for kings long before Jesus walked the earth, and why it actually points to the majesty of God rather than a human-like birth. Let's dive into the evidence.
We must start by clearing the air. In Islamic thought, the idea of God having a son often evokes the concept of shirk, associating partners with God. This is based on a biological understanding of sonship. However, Christian theology explicitly rejects the idea that God had physical relations or that Jesus was born into existence at a point in time in the way humans are. In the Bible, Son of God is a title of status and nature, not a physical descent. Think of how we use the phrase son of the road in Arabic to describe a traveler, or how a son of the soil refers to a patriot. Nobody thinks the road literally gave birth to a human being. The Bible uses sonship as a Hebrew idiom to describe someone who carries the very authority, character, and essence of another.
To truly understand why Jesus is called the Son of God, we have to look at the Old Testament. This title wasn't invented in the New Testament. It was already established for centuries. In Exodus 4:22, God calls the entire nation of Israel his firstborn son. In the Psalms, specifically Psalm 2:7, God speaks to the king of Israel and says, "You are my son. Today I have begotten you." Was King David or King Solomon a literal, biological child of God? Of course not. In the ancient Near East, the king was considered a son because he was the representative of God's rule on earth. He inherited the kingdom and held the authority of the Father. When the New Testament applies this to Jesus, it is identifying him as the ultimate king, the Messiah, who fulfills these ancient royal prophecies.
You might ask, if Israel was a son and David was a son, how is Jesus different? The New Testament uses a specific Greek word to describe Jesus' sonship, Monogenes. This is often translated as only begotten, which leads to more confusion. But modern Greek scholarship shows that monogenes doesn't mean to be born. It means unique, one of a kind, or of a unique category. Jesus is the monogenes son, because while others are sons by adoption or appointment, Jesus is the Son by nature. He is the Word of God made flesh. Just as your words come from your mind and share your nature without being a separate biological entity, Jesus is the eternal expression of the Father. He isn't a second God. He is the unique manifestation of the one true God in human history.
Surah 112 of the Quran says, "He neither begets nor is born." Christians actually agree with this in a biological sense. God is spirit. He does not have a body, and he does not beget in a physical way. The mistake lies in assuming that the Bible uses the term son in the same way the Quran forbids it. When we share the gospel with our Muslim neighbors, we can find common ground by explaining that Son of God is a title of honor and divine authority. Jesus is the Son because he is the one who perfectly reveals the Father's heart. He is the heir of all things. If we can move past the biological misunderstanding, we can begin to see the beautiful truth of the gospel, that God loved the world so much that he sent his unique, eternal word to bring us back to him. Understanding these terms is the first step in bridge building. If this video helped clarify this topic for you, please hit the like button and subscribe to Kingdom Apologist. I want to hear from you in the comments. What other titles of Jesus have you found confusing? Let's discuss it respectfully below. Thank you for watching, and remember, faith is not blind. It is built on the foundation of truth.